What is up, everybody? Welcome to a special episode of the Cinema Asylum podcast. I am Matthew, one of the superhero and sci-fi experts. The only person who's actually here today. Yeah, we record at my house. If the surrounding looks familiar, this is our normal recording spot. Um, so this is getting recorded on Tuesday, the 17th, 2024. That will come into play later. This episode will drop September 19th, 2024, which is this Thursday, or today when you see this. Um, this is going to be a review rewind movie. It's something I don't think we've ever done before. We've done sci-fi, we've done horror, action, superhero. I don't think we've ever done a music movie. So this is going to be a little bit different. It's a music biopic, so if you're unfamiliar with what that is, uh, Bohemian Rhapsody about Queen, Rocket Man about Elton John, uh, Straight Outta Compton about MWA. They're all like music biography movies, and we're gonna be doing one called Ragamuffin, which is about contemporary Christian music singer Rich Mullins. This movie came out in 2013. It's an independent film, so you might not have heard of it. So this is also an indie film spotlight. But yeah, we're gonna do something a little bit different. I'm gonna discuss it a little bit, like the background and some of my thoughts about the movie. It's gonna be a lot of fun. So, like I said, Rich Mullins is a contemporary Christian music singer. So, if you're one of our listeners that doesn't like to hear about Jesus, this probably isn't the episode for you. Because yeah, Christian music, Jesus, you're gonna hear a lot of it. Um, so yes, Rich Mullins was born October 21st, 1955 in Richmond, Indiana. Part of this movie was filmed on location, so it's technically a local movie too, in a way. Um, was born in Richmond, Indiana, and his dad was a farmer. He never really fit in with his dad. Like they had a real rocky relationship, and he got into music, like started playing piano and stuff. Eventually, he went off to college in Cincinnati Bible College, and he started his first band there, Zion, with some friends from college, Sam and a couple other people. Um, but first, he went off. He got a call when a member of a label in Christian singer Amy Grant heard his song "Sing Your Praise to the Lord." Pretty sure it was like a demo, and Amy Grant wanted to record it. So they hired him on as a songwriter. I should probably pull up my notes for the rest of this. Awkward silence. The sound of silence. Okay. Yeah, Amy Grant wanted to bring him on as a songwriter. There's a lot of flashbacks in the movie to when he was a child, like dealing with his dad and how his dad was kind of rough on him. Uh, didn't quite understand the musician aspect of him, that he was different and not what he wanted him to be. They get into that. That's like a theme recurring throughout the movie. Um, it's well done. Like I said, this is an independent film. Like there are aspects of it that technically that don't look the best, but it's still really well made for an independent film. Like there was a lot of effort put into this, and I think it came out really well. Uh, One of the things I really like is that Zion is playing a show in a church, and Rich said theologian Karl Barth was once asked, "What's the most theologically profound statement he can provide?" and all he did was sing the Sunday school song "Jesus Loves Me." Um, I thought that was very interesting, and it's something I want to research. Actually, I think that's really cool. Um, Rich Mullins was known to talk a lot in between songs. I feel like he probably was one of the ones to start that. This is before my time, but one thing he said at a show that really stuck with me was pretending to be perfect breeds inauthenticity in the church because none of us are perfect. Uh, Eventually, he decides to go to Nashville because he said all that matters is Jesus loves me. Uh, Before I get back to like the actual plot, I'll get into some of the stuff I enjoyed about the movie. The guy who plays Rich Mullins, Michael Cook, is excellent. He doesn't look exactly like Rich Mullins, but his singing and everything is great in the movie. He portrays him really well from what I know of Rich Mullins, from what I've like seen on YouTube and stuff. Um, we'll get into why I haven't seen him live towards the end. If you listen to Christian music, you probably know, but if you don't know, you'll find out at the end. That's why it's a special episode. Yeah, he plays the role really well. Most of the other characters are background characters because it really is all about Rich's story. Uh, some of the cinematography is a little questionable. Uh, there's some shots that I feel are kind of overexposed. Um, some of the black and white shots look really cool. Like at the beginning, some of the one of the first scenes in the movie is him walking into an old abandoned like small church in the middle of the country with a cassette recorder and just sitting down at the old church piano and recording demos. Like that's a really cool way to record demos, I think, for music. It kind of fit in with Rich's almost punk rock attitude, rebel attitude towards just Christianity in general. He never really fit in. He was like the uneasy conscience of Christian music, someone said. Um, the other actors, like, they did good. Sam and his father Morris, which is actually played by Sam, the real life Sam. He plays his dad. Um, I feel like they had the most screen time probably, as well as Justin, who joins his band. And then obviously the parents are in a lot of minor scenes. And then the other ones are the label executives, Matt and Brian. They have a lot of scenes. Um, I I can't talk much about like there's not much to talk about what you do and don't like more than just like scenes I enjoy. So I'll kind of contain it to that. Like I said, his singing was great. I believe he played the piano too in the scenes. Quite a few emotional moments in the movie. His dad dies later in the movie, and he never kind of reconciled with his dad, so it was left as like unresolved in a way trauma. And towards the end of the movie, he gets to reconcile in a way that is brought on by Brennan Manning, who is a preacher his friend plays a cassette of for him. Uh, Brennan Manning is someone who wrote the book The Ragamuffin Gospel, which I'm still in the process of listening to the audiobook on Spotify. It is very profound from what I have heard so far. I really enjoy it. One of the scenes I really like, he walks into a meeting with Amy Grant, Brian, and Matt. He brings up to Matt that he wants to start recording his own music, and Matt's like, "I don't think you're ready." He's like, "Why?" And he's like, "You really want to get into this in front of Amy?" Rich is like, "Yes." And he says, "Your whole look is wrong. You got to dress differently. You got to look differently. You're just not ready." And Rich is like, "What about my songs? What how are they?" And he's like, "I don't think they're ready either." So Rich goes over to the piano and just busts out singing Elijah and playing the piano to his song Elijah. And Amy, after he's done, Amy's like, Yeah, I think he's ready. So, Rich gets a recording contract. He starts recording his songs, and he struggles to sell records at first. The labels try to say his songs aren't happy enough, and they're too brokenhearted. That and they're like, that's why it's not selling. He is struggling to record because he prefers being on the road. He doesn't like being in the studio recording, and um, they're struggling to get the song finished for the second record, I believe. They need one more track, and he just leaves because he gets an offer to do a show in Arizona at a Native American reservation, and it kind of changes his outlook on things a bit. And he writes the song "Verge of a Miracle," and they think it's a change that they've seen in him. Um, he's still struggling in '98, or sorry, '88 to get songs places. He's still not doing that well. His label contract's running out, and that's when he hits it. He drops the song "Awesome God," which anyone that knows Christian music knows this song. Um, blows absolutely up. It is everywhere in Christian music. He starts getting big crowds, getting headlining shows, and he just doesn't care. Like, that's not his thing. He doesn't care about the fame. Uh Eventually he has a nice house and everything, but eventually he's just like, I don't want it anymore. And he works with his church to keep an average like working man salary, and the rest of it, his money is divided up between charities and the church. He just has the church separated between charities and stuff, and spreads the money out, and he just lives like an average lower class, lower middle class person. Um, he so when he meets he goes to live with his Sam's father, Morris, because Morris he's is closer to a father than his father ever was to him. He feels, and he Morris dies, so he's really struggling after a couple years. When Morris does die, gets really bad into drinking and stuff again, and that's when he meets Brennan Manning, and it kind of changes his life, and uh, things are getting better. He wants to start teaching music on the reservation, so he goes to school to get a music degree, and uh, Brennan and him have like a retreat, and he writes a letter to his father, even though his father has died, uh, writing all the things he wished his father said to him so he can forgive him for it. And then after that, Brennan has him write a letter from God to him, saying all the things that God God says to him. Um, and it really does change his life. Like, that's when he's finally uh hopeful and sees a bright future. He decides he's going to write a concept record, 10 songs about Jesus, which I believe that is the scene at the beginning where he goes into the abandoned church and starts recording. Um, the songs were never made past demos from him because on September 19th, 1997, so 27 years from when this episode dropped, he died in a car accident in Bloomington, Illinois. Uh, didn't make it, was killed instantly. Uh, the Christian music scene will never be the same because honestly, there was no one like him. Uh, this movie is a very well done movie. for what its budget was. They really knew. I feel like they really knew Rich, which one of the producers was his actual brother. So like they really got to know the insides of his personal story. The his band recorded in 1993. He started the Ragamuffin band after he read the Ragamuffin Gospel. I just wanted to touch on some things here before I end this. They recorded the album A Liturgy, A Legacy, and A Ragamuffin Band, which would be listed as the third best album in Christian music by CCM Magazine. The movie is kind of about someone who has a complicated relationship with their father and being able to reconcile even if it's not in the way you thought you would. The score is great. I would say this movie's not for everybody, but if you're looking for a solid movie, if you like music-based movies, if you're a Christian, definitely watch it. Rich Mullins is one of the most. He would never say this, but he is one of the. He was one of the most influential people in all of Christian music, I'd say, and there will never be another like him. He changed Christian music, and he was so unique that I don't think we'll ever have anything like him in the scene again. Yeah, this isn't your normal Christian movie. This is a very desperate reaching out type movie. It's not all sunshine and rainbows. And I feel it's better acted than a lot of the Christian movies at that time. There are some ones I feel are better out now. John will disagree, but that's his opinion. This is mine. I don't feel like a lot of Christian movies back then were well made. There's good ones now, like Jesus Revolution, I still believe. I might talk about some of those later, do reviews on those. But I wasn't the biggest fan of Christian movies when this came out in that 2013-ish time period. Yeah, I give this a recommendation. They do have Blu-rays available on Amazon and stuff. It's free to watch on Tubi, Freevee, Plex, Pluto, and I think it's available to watch without ads on Prime Video now. So, if you're looking for a music movie to watch or a good faith-based movie, I cannot recommend this enough. It's actually one of my top 100 movies of all time. And the more I watch it, the more I enjoy it. So I hope you guys enjoy this. We're dropping more content this week. And we got our continuation of our sci-fi movies coming up. This week we're doing best top 10 sci-fi movies of the 2000s. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. Follow us on YouTube and Spotify. Hit that notification bell. And subscribe to the channel or the page. We have Facebook, Threads, Twitter, Instagram. We're most active on Twitter and Facebook. At Twitter, it's at Cinema Asylum. Facebook, it's at the Cinema Asylum Podcast. Very easy to find. Our picture is our logo that we have. You could see at the beginning of all our videos. We got a lot of good stuff coming up. We hope you stick around for it. We hope you check out all our other videos. We talk about various things. Like this is I think that's probably the first faith-based video we ever did. But we got a lot of stuff coming soon. We hope you enjoy it. See you guys later. God bless.
We have been the Cinema Asylum Podcast. You guys were awesome. Thanks for coming out. God, no.